Hello everyone and welcome back to Lakeside. Today is the 2nd of January 2020 at midday-ish, and this video is going to be about me making the extension at the side here for the containers, these guys here. So this is going to be primarily Freightliner for the container section, but I will have a TMD at one end and a steam shed the other end with a turntable. But really today all I want to do is concentrate on building the actual extension itself, which I will temporarily screw and hinge to the side here so that I can work on it, and then when I'm not working on it to do over there, I can drop it down. It will be permanently fixed eventually. Okay, so work togs on and let's get cracking. Okay, so speak to you in a minute. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, so before we start, I'll just go through the materials I've got ready. So I've got 3 sheets of 9mm MDF. So I've got all this at B&Q today, and they have a sawing facility there. So I got them to rip 3 of the panels. I bought 4, but I got 3 panels ripped down to 400mm wide, and they are 1220mm long. The length from there, just here, the length from there down to here, where this goes across, move that out of the way. This line here, this triangular piece will come out. That length, total length, is 3.2 meters. So that will be roughly the length of the extension, plus of course I can go back as well from there as to near enough about here. So probably about 3.5 meters, I would think, in total. So the first thing I've got to do is to move all the trains out of the way and just put them on the other side of the layout. That won't take 2 minutes to do that. Down here I've got 8 lengths of timber, which I think are inch by 1.5 inches or 2 inches, something like that, which is exactly the same as what I've got here. So it'll be exactly the same format as what I built all these. It will have some drop down legs with adjustable feet on the bottom, and so I've got the timber for that. I've got to order some more adjustable feet. I've got 1 left over from the last lot, which is this, so I shall reorder some more of those. They worked absolutely fine. I've got 4 hinges here, which are sturdy enough to take the extension. I say it will be permanently fixed eventually anyway, plus an assortment of screws to screw the whole lot together. I will be gluing the actual framework together, but I won't be gluing the baseboards down yet onto the framework. I'll just be screwing those because I will need to take them off at some stage. For instance, when I cut the hole out for the turntable, it'll make it a lot easier if I can just unscrew the baseboards, cut it out and put it back on again. So I won't be gluing those down until the very last minute onto the framework. And I think that's about it as regards materials. Obviously I've got glue and stuff for the framework. So preparation, I've got to take off the manor house, which is only held on by a few screws and a couple of hinges, so that won't take long. The electrics for that is on a 2-pin plug, so that just unplugs, and I think that is about it. So it's to take that down and to take this triangular section off. So that's it. Oh, and see my cigarettes there. If I do videos of this, you may see me smoking as I'm working. If you do and that offends you, then just switch off. I'm warning you now. Just switch off, put a dislike on it if you want. Doesn't really matter to me whatsoever. but I'm just warning you. Okay, so let's get going. Oh, one other thing I've just realised, the drawers, obviously with the extension coming out, it's going to make the drawers a little bit awkward to get to, especially the top one. But once it's all finalised, the extension, I don't know if you can see, but I've got rails through there. All I need to do is bring those rails out to meet the new legs and then reposition the drawers. So again, there's no big deal on that, that won't take long to do. I think that's about it for now, so let's crack on, stop waffling, and let's build this framework. Okay, so bye for now, and I'll speak to you in a minute. Bye. Hello again everyone. Well, I decided actually not to film while I was making this because it's exactly the same process as the these boards when I constructed these. So if you want to find out how this was constructed, then if you look at the video of about a year ago now, you'll see me how I constructed these. I thought if I keep stopping and starting, I'm not going to get it done. So I've been up here now 4 hours, which is the maximum time I allow myself up in the train room, and it's gone well. So that whole section is now down, plus I've put a return on this section here, because as you know, I want this layout to have the same feel as the previous layout, and so I need a village green, a lake, well, not a lake, village pond should I say, and that's where that will go in there, plus an access road for here. Now I probably won't be using that construction, that's just for me to kind of go, well okay, there's an access road hit there. Probably what I will do is have a road coming down here and also a road coming off here, which is going to be an access road to the yard. So as you can see, if I can bring it right back, that's quite a length. That's it's about 3.5 meters long from here to down here to about here. It's about 3.5 meters long. So that should give me a fair bit of space. So in here I've got room now to put my turntable, engine sheds and all the paraphernalia which goes with the steamers, and up there I've got the TMD, and in between will be the marshalling yards for the container wagons, which I was going to go over there, but I moved them over there, plus the hoppers maybe. So that should give me a fair bit of room, and what I'll be doing, I'll be bringing track from this feed and from that feed, so I've got an exit and an entry point onto the main line, and it will go, there will be an access road here, so vehicles will be able to travel along here, unload from a crane, and yeah, so that should be good. I'll probably have a turning area for the lorries up here as well, fencing of course, and I can now bring in all the previous stuff from the first layout, like the washer unit for the diesels, the fueling points, all that sort of paraphernalia for the diesels, and down here I can have the ash pit, the old engine sheds and all the paraphernalia I had on the previous layout for the steamers. So whether I put the steam engines there or up there and have that down here, I don't know, but they are going to be separated. I don't want them together if I can help it, but I might change my mind on that. It depends on the amount of space I've got. Until I start laying it out, then I don't really know, to be honest. I've got a small fillet to build here, and the whole lot is mounted on hinges, So that is at the moment a temporary leg just here, but it's just so that it doesn't sag in the middle. It doesn't actually, but I don't want it to, so I've just put in a temporary leg there for now, and then I can bring my drawers here forward to this point eventually, so I've got easy access to them. I can still get to them underneath there, so it's not an issue, but it would be better once this is all finalised to bring the drawers out to this level here. So that's about it. So I'm packing up now, so it's my 4 hours, so I haven't done too badly in 4 hours to get to that stage. I've got bracing going along here right the way through, and I've done it that way rather than that way, apart from where the joints are, of course, so that it enables me to lay cables straight along the top here, and I can clip it to the central. I'll show you underneath. I can clip it to the central beam here. Any wiring I need, I won't need too much, I don't think, but any wiring I do need, I can clip to that. So I don't have any holes to drill, so that's all clear. The only holes I'm going to have to drill will be probably 2, one through here and one through the other end, just so I can feed cables through. Any points will be manually operated, they won't be motorised, because obviously I can just very easily manipulate points here, so I don't need them motorised. So that's about it. I can actually still, even with this up, I can still get to this part okay, but it will make life a lot easier having that hinge, so I can get much closer to it, hence the reason for the hinges. I think that's about it. I shall carry on tomorrow doing some other bits and bobs, but the main construction is now done. I just need to go over and drill a few holes, etc., do that fillet down the bottom, and then we're good to go. Okay, so I won't post this tonight, I will probably post this tomorrow, Friday, once I've finished. There's the manor house there. So the manor house now will go that way on, if you like, across the end there. So the gates, which are here, the entrance will be here, which makes more sense than the way I had it before. But I wanted to try it the other way around just to see, but it never did really work that way round. So it will go lengthways across that way now. There will be a small infill piece coming along here to edge the side of the manor house. So that's it really. So I shall leave you and go indoors and have my tea. Okay, so I'll speak to you tomorrow. Okay, so bye for now. I'll just have a quick look up this way. So it's quite a nice length. I should be able to get quite a lot in there. I may even, thinking about it, I might even bring a line off here as another exit. Don't know yet. Sorry, not an exit, an entry. I'll think about that. Okay, so that's it. So bye for now, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. So bye for now. Bye. Hello again everyone. Right, day 2 of the build, and it's going very well. So as you can see in front of you, the manor house is now mounted in its correct orientation, and so the gates are now where they should be, so it's up against the road, or will be up against the road once the road is built. So that now leaves me a nice area for the village pond and the grass area, as I had in the previous lakeside. Yeah, that's worked out really well. Very pleased with that. And I've just put a small piece of infill there, this side. I was going to put it the other side, but it made more sense to shuffle the whole lot over this side and have some scrub land just here. Again, exactly the same as it was on the previous layout. And so this then butts up, again, exactly the same as the previous layout. This now butts up to almost the engine shed there, or TMD area. It's virtually identical. So I've got all the bits and pieces out from the old layout. So I've got the washer, fueling point, bike rack, a little shed there for the oil there, and some porta cabins at the back. Again, I've just been experimenting. It won't be like this, but that's the way the access road will run down from here, but don't take any notice of the construction of it because it'll probably be different. So there'll be a road going down that way to the village, and also a road coming down here to the access road for the container wagons. So that takes care of the TMD area. And again, I must stress that this is not finalised as regards positioning or anything yet. All these bits and pieces will move. I've only just put them out just so I can get an idea. I've got my yard lights out as well, so they can go on. I've got my little Class 800 there, Class 08, having an engine refitted. There's the old one there. And if you remember, the wiring round there is for the arc welder. There's a chap there welding. So that's that. And then I will skedaddle past this bit because I'll show you that bit last. And up this end is the engine area, steam engine area. So I've got the old shed out, turntable, water tower, ash pits, coaling staith, little huts, bits and bobs there of old wheels and drum cables, the tractor with the ash in on the trailer. So all this is taken from the old layout. I've got the excavator there shoveling the coal. So all that lot will go eventually back in. And I think I've decided now to have the engine shed, steam engine shed down this end and the TMD up the other end. Primarily because it actually takes up quite a bit of room, I think, well, I know having it up the other end really does create problems. So I think that's the area which that's going to occupy. Don't forget, I've got that fillet to put in here. So although it looks tight there, it actually won't be, because I can bring this fillet across to there. So tracks will run nicely off of here. And as regards the turntable, rather than having an exit point, they will just come on, turn around and come back out again. So I don't need to divert them off to any other lines. It's purely a turntable where the locos get turned. Right, so that's that bit, and now the exciting bit, well, exciting for me anyway, is that. So I've just laid 4 tracks out to give me an idea of space. So I've got 2 tracks for containers and 2 tracks for the TMD and also the engine sheds down here. So those 2 tracks there, here, these can feed off and go down and into there or over to the turntable. And for once I can have a nice gentle curve onto the turntable rather than what I had in the last one where they were really tight curves. It didn't really work. And likewise, if I just turn around this way, these 2 tracks here can carry on and feed the TMD. and of course I can then divert off and have a small track going up the side here and one going up that side there. So there should be probably 4 tracks going up. So if we come down to the container section, so don't forget I've got the access road for the trucks coming down here, and so they will pull up next to the crane, and then crane can unload and put them onto here, or vice versa. It can pick up from here and put them on the trucks. So the crane and the trucks, they arrived today, expertly timed to come today. That was absolutely amazing. They both arrived today just in the nick of time. Couldn't have timed it better. So I've got 2 Freightliner trucks. They don't come with the containers, I've just put those on. And there's an empty one here, and they're really nice. They were £19 from Hatton's. I looked on rails, they were £19 too, but I didn't have any in stock when I looked. That may have changed now, but so I went over to Hatton's and they had them for the same price. So I bought 2, one so that I could have a container on it and one without. So the crane is absolutely fandabidozo. I had no idea really the size of it, but it's huge, absolutely huge. And if I put my hand there, you can see how big it is, and it's very, very weighty. It's Bachmann Syncraft, and with all their stuff it's resin, and that was the thing which I kind of hummed and hawed about, because I've had such bad luck with these things being broken when I got them, and everything which I seem to get from Bachmann Syncraft seemed to be broken. But this was very well packed in a huge box, and you have to do quite a bit of assembly. You have to put the wheels on, the railings, you have to assemble all that centre section. Now it doesn't go up and down. I have glued a container on here, if you notice. It doesn't go up or down or anything, it doesn't work, but what it does do, it does slide backwards and forwards, so I can have that either there or I can have it over there. So it's really just primarily a static thing. It's got facilities there. If you look, it's got the axle boxes for the wheels, but there are no wheels on it. So it won't ride up and down on rails, although what I could do is probably make it so and put wheels on it, but I don't know. I don't know whether I want to go that far with it, to be honest with you. It's just going to be a static model to give an impression of a container crane, and that's really all I'm after. It's so well made, it really is. It's got a nice little cabin area there, lots and lots of ladders, very nicely made, very pleased with it. So all I need to do there was, I was thinking about painting it, but I think I will just lightly weather it a bit more, because I'm not that keen on the way they've weathered it, but I think I'll just weather it a little bit more and put some Freightliner logos on it and leave it at that. But I think on the whole that is a superb piece of kit, and that was from Rails of Sheffield, and they were doing it instead of 100 and I can't remember now, I think it was about £140 initially, and they dropped it down to 87. And I thought, well, to be honest with you, by the time I've flapped around trying to get something or built something, I might as well get that, because it is just, well, it's just ideal. It fits the build perfectly, looks the part, does the job. So there we go. So that is how it looks at the moment. If I come back as far as I can, you can get an idea. I can't get back any further, but you can get an idea of the length with the crane on. So I shall have quite a large area for the track work going up to the TMD. So this is day 2. I've done my 4 hours again, so it's taken 8 hours so far to get where I am today, which I'm really pleased about. What I can do now, I can get the chair out, have a coffee and a smoke, and I can just sit here and figure out how I'm going to do this track work, because it needs a little bit of thought, and this area too. I'm going to have to seriously think about how I'm going to be laying that out, because I don't want to keep doing this 2 or 3 times. I want to do it once and once only, which is where I fell down on the previous layout. I was shuffling it around here and there, and in the end it didn't really work. But so I'm going to sit down for a couple of hours just playing around with different positions, but I think that is really primarily about it. I may be able to squeeze a third line in here, but I don't really want to be honest with you. I don't want it to look cramped, and it is, those 2 tracks are only for the feeders, for the engine sheds, steam engines and the diesels. Excuse me. So I think probably that will be it. I will have to put in some track work here for the crane to run up and down on, obviously, so I need to do that. So I've got to also start looking at images, photographs for reference, to see how this looks in real life, or whether this is all hard standing and concrete, or whether there's sleepers, probably concrete sleepers, I don't know, but as I say, I'm going to have to do some research on that and look at some images and see what people do. I've seen several people on their layouts doing it different ways, with sleepers, without sleepers, hard standings, and so forth, a mixture of both. So it seems like really anything goes, to be honest with you, but I should still look and just see and then decide what suits me best. So there we go, folks. I'll get this up tonight, this video, so you can see the progress so far. Looking forward to doing this area too. I'm just going to have to work on that turntable and figure out if that's the best place for it. At the moment it appears to be, it's out of the way, and it's only going to do 1 or possibly 2 positions to turn a loco around, which is going to be far better than what I had before. Good, okay, right. I will love you and leave you and just give you an overview of what it looks like once again. So don't take any notice of the construction of that road. It probably won't end up like that. I'll probably scratch build something. It's the crane and the trucks going off down to the steam engine area. Okay, I will leave it there and speak to you sometime next week, I guess. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and please remember the construction of these boards I did about a year ago when I constructed the main layout, and it was exactly the same process, hence the reason for not videoing it. Alright, So I'll speak to you again soon. So bye for now, and take care and have a great weekend. Bye.